Hi, Randy Lennon back with Biz One-on-One, and today it's Biz One-on-One Plus One. We're so thrilled to have iconic entrepreneur Peter Thomas and Jennifer Carroll, who's taking over LifePilot. So this LifePilot sounds fantastic, but is it just for business people?
That's where Peter started with that, because he was very involved in the EO group, the entrepreneur organization, and then YPO, and so that was just his peeps and his connections. It definitely has evolved. Like when I first went, he was mentoring my husband in business, Phil, and he just told us about this program, and he actually approached me to see if I wanted to be one of his presenters. So I went to several seminars. I think I've done 9 already, in the last 15 years. But when I started out, it was because of that business connection with Phil. I ended up writing a series of children's books based on the LifePilot principles, and then we collaborated and did some events where he would do the business people and bring the spouses, and I would do the kids in the other room and teach them it was about a bumblebee, about beginning with the dream, believing in yourself, belonging to a great group, being accepting of others, and becoming all you can be, which of course is what LifePilot's all about, being all you can be, being the best you can be, and living a value-based life. And we did that in Tijuana, Mexico, believe it or not. We go down every year and build homes for homeless families through an organization called Homes of Hope. And so we collaborated, my husband was involved, we brought down, and this is when we really introduced it to our friends, and not such the business community, but friends and family and spouses, and recognized that when I took it down right to an elementary, grade 2, grade 3 level, with these basic skills of what do you want? What do you envision your life? What are your 3 goals, and what are your action steps to accomplishing that? So this is something that you can teach kids right up to, and like I said, I sat in a room yesterday with a lot of different age, and men were coming up and women were coming up, and they were reassessing their values in their mid-60s.
So LifePilot is, what is it? Is it like a one-day seminar, a weekend? How does it work?
Well, let me give you a 2-minute what LifePilot is primarily. It's a 4-hour workshop that usually goes from 9 to 1, or some people prefer 1 to 4, 1 to 5, mornings or afternoons. It's very rapid. It's got 4 segments to it. But when you're a kid and you go to school, you learn the multiplication tables. You learn what 1 and 1 is, 2 and 2, 3 and 3, and you know those, you memorize them. Well, the challenge is in life, there is no handbook, there is no instruction manual. People just expect you to know how to live life.
Exactly, that's what I was thinking when you were talking about.
Correct, and you just pick it up from grandma, from pop, from mom, and from school. Bit by bit you pick this up from people, but you never ever actually put it down into 1 and 1 is 2. So what LifePilot tries to do, and listen, this is stuff that goes back to Socrates. It's not new, it's how people have lived their lives over the years, primarily successful people. And what are their secrets? What do they do? So we've taken LifePilot. I guess one big question that everybody has, no matter how old you are, if you ask them that, they sit there with a blank look on their face. If I said, Randy, what is your purpose in life?
I have an answer for that, but I've done a lot of work on myself.
Yes, a lot of work to get there. There's a lot of people, you can ask them whether they might be successful or not successful, old, young, men, women, doesn't matter. When you think, what is your purpose in life? It's a big question. So we try to what we finish with in the end of 4 hours is a way that you can find out your purpose. So how do we do that? Is that we break the segmentation of how we suggest that you can use as a formula for your life, is place values first and foremost. That's the number one thing. Understand what your values are, and how do you dig those out? Well, we have a whole bunch of exercises that you can do that. But it's not complicated. Like, for example, I'd say most people put their hands up if I said, well, if they were confused, say, well, is health a value?
Right.
Most people say,
there's some obvious ones. You've mentioned your 4.
Correct.
And Jennifer mentioned her
family,
4. How many are there in total? Like
literally hundreds.
Really?
Career could be a value, relationships, kids, family, education.
And should I only have 3 or 4?
Motorcycle riding could be a value.
Right.
You can anything you want it to be can be a value. And so we try and trim it up a little bit,
Yeah.
But we come up
you
with,
said you started with 11 and you brought it down
13.
to 4? 13?
I actually started with 13. How many did you have, Jen, when you started? Do you remember?
Probably a dozen, and then I narrowed
trim
down
them
to about
down.
6,
Yeah,
and then when Phil was sick, it even got shorter. It depends on the type of the season you're in.
Well, you can tuck things under, like, for example, my happiness family, relationships, commitment, all that stuff goes under happiness. Because if my
Right.
wife is happy, I'm happy. You know the old rule,
Excellent rule. Everyone should know
happy
that.
life. So, but anyway, we break the segment down. So values, I look at it like a building. The foundation of your life is your values. Now, how do you figure out how to live your life? We have 4 segments. And the first one is focus. Squirrel, squirrel, everybody's like that. People always get, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, but they become unfocused. So we teach how to stay focused in life. The next one is teach people how to visualize. Stephen Covey said, begin with the end in mind. You know, a lot of people, like 2 guys will go look at a piece of land, and one guy is like looking like this, the other guy's
Excited,
happy.
yeah.
He sees the big building, the other guy sees an empty, full of weeds. You know? So we teach you how to visualize ahead and visualize what you want to become. Like for example, Randy, I'd say to you right now, in your life, I'd say, what would the 10-year older Randy say to the 61-year-old Randy?
Absolutely.
That's pretty powerful.
Yes.
You know, so we ask.
It's all about the questions.
Correct.
Yeah.
And we ask questions like that. So you think, wow. They might say, well, make sure you look after your diet, make sure you're doing healthy stuff. They give you, the older guy give you much more advice like that. Another one I do with people is I ask you, visualize yourself 10 years older. Where do you live? What's your job? What are you doing? So visualization is a powerful, powerful segment. The next one is inspiration. Why am I pumped up all the time? Well, because I'm being around positive people, and I'm reading inspiring things, and I'm doing inspiring things. You know, I sort of say I do great things and exciting things, and I create adrenaline, and then I run on the adrenaline. That's like gas. So I'm happy and pumped because I'm doing things I love to do. I'm here because I love to be here.
Right.
I love LifePilot. I love telling the story. I love mentoring. I love teaching. So as long as I'm doing that, I'll do it forever. And the last segment we spend actually 45 minutes on reflection. So many people don't understand how good they really are. You know,
Say that again.
So many people don't understand how good they really are. And sometimes I have to trigger, or we have to trigger that memory in them. For example, if they're not feeling too good today, you run into a hardship. There's hardships, every week you run into something. Well, instead of, oh, poor me and woe is me, think back upon positive things that happen in your life. Think back to the birth of your kids. Think back to your graduation from high school. Think back to when you won that relay race. And take mental pictures of those reflections. And those reflections will carry you ahead to the next ones.
Because everybody has something that they can look back on.
Everybody.
That they're proud of.
Absolutely.
Where they've done something where they didn't even realize they could do it.
Correct.
And why do we choose to focus on all the crappy
It's
stuff?
human nature.
So you celebrate that. So what we're going to be doing this next period of time is Jennifer, and I'm going to work with Jennifer as well. We're going to work together and build a team of people. That's Jennifer's plan. Navigators. In fact, we have a navigator up here. We haven't been in Kelowna today, but we have a navigator right here in Kelowna who's been for quite a while. And Jen's going to take over. We're going to look for people who can carry this story everywhere. So if anybody's reading, if everybody's listening to this program, watching the program, all they need to do is go to our website, lifepilot.org. They can figure out all the stuff there and just write us a note to our website and let us know you want to attend a workshop.
Wow.
Wherever you are, and we'll figure that out from there.
Jennifer, you are taking over because this poor old guy
has no energy or enthusiasm anymore. He's just like, go retire.
And I'm going to ask
never.
him in a minute when he's 90. What is his 90-year-old going to say to his 80-year-old? That blows my mind. What's the next step for you? So you're taking this around the world?
Well, that's the plan, just to take it as far as it can go, like go big or go home, right? Yeah.
Well, I can help Jen tell what we're going to do. We're going into our own workshop for the first 3 months of the year, and we're going to focus on what we can do to even improve this program.
Right.
What can we do? What tools can we add to it to make that experience better? The reason it's 4 hours, by the way, is 'cause everybody we talk to, they say love the program, love the program. It should be a whole weekend. It should be a week. And I find that if it's 4 hours, you get lots of attendance.
And you do a lot. You write it out. People take the time
go home.
to look.
They go home with a workbook.
With a tool, like a book.
Yeah.
To build for their own life. Like this is the result. That is the LifePilot workshop. Yeah. That's the book. So everybody goes home with a book of their own life after 4 hours. Not bad.
I mean, really, what you can learn in this 4 hours could really change the trajectory of your life. I mean, it's just a way of looking at life, and it's so simple. Like going back to the Dr. Seuss, sometimes the answers are simple, and values and vision. I mean, none of us are insulated from challenge and chaos. We are faced with challenges all the time. And when you're pushed out of that comfort zone and you're forced into situations where you could dwell on the negative, stay focused on your vision of what you want and put the blinders on and just keep moving forward, and just even those baby steps. That is what we're trying to teach people, that it's actually very simple. If you live a value-based life and you've got choices coming at you, even if you have to make a quick decision, no. You know, young kids, I don't want that drugs, because you know what? I have a picture of Jerona Ginla on my dream board, and that's not going to get me there. So
that's where I'm headed. It's your own. So it's so interesting because you've been amazingly successful in business, Peter, and now you would never, if you were coaching someone who's starting a business, you would never let them start the business without a business plan.
Correct.
What's the plan?
Correct.
And yet we just end up living our lives and being buffeted along.
Correct. I always look at life as like a deck of cards. So we're each a deck of cards. There we are. Some have got lucky, got an ace, tens, queens, tens, jacks. But you know, success, if you look at successful people many times, they don't have a whole bunch of aces. They don't have anything special. What the key to success is learning how to play your hand.
Exactly.
Learning how to play the cards you're dealt with. Like, for example, we're short, we're tall, we're heavy, we're light, black, we're white, yellow, you know, we're all kinds of things that we're born. But if you learn to play that hand you have, you can be very successful. I've seen some very successful people. You wonder, well, how'd they ever get so successful? But because it's not because they were so, you know, they were rocket scientists. It's because they learned how to play the cards that they've got.
And they knew what their values were.
It's just that formula where you just go to your values and you look at them.
Easy, every day.
Said, no, I want what this guy has, and he's doing this, but no, these are the things I value. So in fact, I'm not going to choose to do that. So that's where the formula comes to play. It's, you know, life coming at us, people telling us what to do, opportunities, and we have to choose and prioritize our life based just on this simple formula, which is 1 + 1 is 2. Here are my 5 values.
Health, freedom, happiness, integrity.
And
Health,
if it
freedom,
doesn't fall
happiness,
under
integrity.
them,
Do I want to make an investment I'm looking at today? Will it affect my health? No.
No.
My freedom? Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Perhaps negatively.
So take a look at that.
Yeah.
You know, so stop. So you make sure, does it fit with my values? Does it fit? And if it fits, away you go.
And then your life becomes on purpose.
Well, you've created a lot of value for me today and for everyone watching. Really appreciate having you on. Jennifer, great luck and success with LifePilot. Peter, so nice to see you again. Peter Thomas and Jennifer Carroll. It's called LifePilot.